Yo, yo, what's happening? It's the Fields Bros. So, my boys, the Rockets, are back in action. They just played the Mavericks. Uh, a classic, definitely a shootout in Texas. You could definitely say that. It's only one game, but obviously the West, you're always battling for tough playoff positioning. But because it was the Mavericks, it's a nice win for these reasons. One, everybody's aware that the Rockets have their micro ball style. In terms of team height, we're not one of the taller teams in the league, and we're criticized for it. So I was very interested coming into this game to see how we deal with a team that has a guy in Porzingis who, by all accounts, should be able to, have a huge advantage against our team. Because in terms of height, he's going to be able to get uncontested jump shots. He can play around the basket, etc. And you have Luka Doncic over there as well. So in terms of matchups, I feel like they match up pretty well with us because they're a team that has a really good tall player. The Lakers are also very similar to the Mavericks because of all the ball handling LeBron does, like Luka did in this case. Then you have AD, like a better version of Porzingis. But Porzingis is he has like half a foot on even AD. So if Porzingis gets heated up, he's not taking any contested shots because his elevation and his reach on his arms is just so massively long. But anyways, so Porzingis I believe had 36 points. So I needed to see like positive things I can pull from this. One, how do the Rockets look? How does it look? How do they respond to a situation when a Porzingis has 36 points and Luka has a 28-point triple double, and you pair that with, and this was the key of this game, you have Trey Burke. All right, this dude is a solid NBA player, in terms of just talent and ability. But you got to have it put into perspective. Right now, I believe he's averaging 5 points a game this year. All right, tonight he makes like 8 or 9 3-point shots, has like 26 points off the bench, or more, maybe even more. He had at least 26 points. I know he made at least 8 or 9 3-point shots. So this dude was playing at an unsustainable pace. In addition to Porzingis giving you 36 points, and you had Luka with 28-point triple double. I believe Hardaway even had like 25. So literally, the Mavericks were playing at. I've never even seen the Mavericks look this good before, in terms of just all their dudes clicking. And despite all that happening, James Harden, Westbrook are able to absorb all of that and still able to put the clamps on defense. And Harden gave him a 50 piece. Basically he had 49 points. He could have had 50, but he had to miss a free throw in that game. He missed a free throw that was able to be tipped in by Covington to get the game into overtime. But so like it was a ridiculous game. In overtime, as soon as the game got to OT, it was a different game. It was just like the game beforehand, the Blazers versus the Grizzlies. So as soon as the game got to overtime, the veteran players were able to pick up their game. They weren't as fatigued as the younger players. You see Westbrook at this. There's a key play in this Rockets Mavericks game in overtime. I think Luka turns the ball over, and Westbrook's able to get this ball. He recovers it, the rebound off like by the right sideline. He tiptoes in like an NFL receiver. He keeps himself inbounds. He weaves back in towards the center of the court. He accelerates downhill, and he's able to, he finds a guy in the corner that leads the extra pass to a Covington 3 ball, which I believe made the game 150 to 145 or 146, right somewhere in there. It was a really big momentum play. But what you could see was Westbrook was flying at such crazy speeds, like his conditioning. Like the Rockets won this game. Conditioning played a big role, but also props to Rob Covington. He worked his ass off in this game. He had 10 big rebounds in this game. He would have had more points, but he missed like his first 7 or 8 3-pointers. He could have had like easily a 20-point game if he just makes his normal shots. But despite that, he made the big 3-pointer, which I think gave him 13 points, and he had 10 or 11 rebounds, the critical rebound that he had. But he normally isn't going to miss all 8 of his threes. And in contrast to that, Trey Burke isn't going to pull a Daniel Gibson and just make every 3-pointer he puts up. And despite Trey Burke having the best game of his life by that I've ever seen, like he had a career high in pretty much everything. Tim Hardaway had 25. So those two, an old Michigan backcourt duo. So also, I believe I read that should be noted that the Mavericks, that's like their 17th loss or something like that in games that were decided by 5 points or less. Um, I can't remember I think they won the Rockets just beaten by 5. Anyways, it was overtime, so it was a close game. So the Mavericks are a trendy team, and they lose these tight games, and no one's likes to talk about that just because they're a young team. They haven't even ever played a playoff game. Like, I don't think anybody in their starting 5 has ever played a playoff game. Maybe Hardaway played in a playoff game somewhere. I can't remember. I don't think so, even though. But also, the Rockets did not have Eric Gordon tonight. He has a rolled ankle. He'll be back in like a week or so. But like, if he's healthy, like some of those Covington threes are going to be funneled to Eric Gordon. So like, we didn't even have like our leading bench player score, our third, like on a good night, Eric Gordon can come in, and easily drop 19, 20 points. He's usually, plays like 70 games a year for this team. This year he's missed like 31 games or so now, but he's going to be all right. Like, he's a dude in a big game, in the playoff games. He's going to be able to make big shots and free throws. But overall, I'm just glad to see the league back in action. So the Rockets we moved up to the 5 seed now, but seeds are really, what is a seed in this tournament outside of the 1 seed? There's no home courts, obviously. They're in the Orlando bubble. You've got no fans. It's just the players and the refs and the teams and the staff. That's pretty much it. The ball boy, like, nobody that's not essential is there. So the environment's a lot more focused on just basketball, and you're not really seeing that many bad calls. Like a lot of the play is pretty fair. Like in terms of just the referees being able to be more objective and more focused on, there's less noise in there. So obviously you understand what I'm saying with that. But like I said, it's only 1 game, but the West is always tough in terms of the seeds are always really close, 2 through 7. Like, you wouldn't think like it'd be that big of a deal, but like the teams that are like 2 through 7 in the West generally are only going to be separated by like 3 to 6 games tops, and that's not that much. But I'd like to see just keep the ball rolling, use these games as an opportunity to get better. I think the Mavericks had a 13-point lead in that fourth quarter, and they were even up 7 points with like 39 seconds to go right before Harden hit a shot. So they had, the Rockets, took the game from the younger team. Like I said, Harden put up 49, Westbrook put up 31. House hit some big shots for our team. Like I said, Rob Covington had some big rebounds for our team. PJ Tucker took a huge charge on Luka at the end of the game there. Eric Gordon did not play, so we can still play better in terms of not encountering a team that's playing at such an unsustainable pace. Like the Mavericks don't normally look that good. Porzingis doesn't average 36 points a game like Harden does. Like, that's what Harden does every night. Porzingis, he had a great game, but I kind of expected that, and I wanted to see if that would be enough to beat us, pretty much. So this is kind of another experiment. How does a dude like that affect a team like ours? And we're able to drop the blow and win this game. So we'll get out of here. That's 10 minutes later, guys.